Sup guys, Water Cool Fool, and I'm going to give you a little update on the STH0 Shadow into the Darkness build. Now, as you guys know, I'm slowly making progress, but due to my situation, money's kind of tight right now, so I can't buy all the stuff I would really like to get and all that fun stuff. So, I'm going to show you what I did. I'm doing very minimum steps, just taking my time and everything. So yesterday I started to get the nitty-gritty. The most daunting thing that I really don't like is cable management, because I'm overly critical about myself, and when it comes to my work and I have to have everything perfect, if it's not perfect, I'll do it all over again. But this is kind of like pre-stage cable management for the STH0, and using two power supplies is a pain in the butt in this build, because you're going to have more cables and more stuff you have to deal with this case and everything like that, because of the power consumption of the 780 Ti Kingpin editions. And I'm running 3, so you do 450 watts, you know, full load, that comes up to like around 1300 something, so it's a lot of power draw when I'm doing benchmarking and everything like that. I'm not sure if I explained it to you, but I am using a modded BIOS which already has the cards running roughly at 1.3 volts when you have both switches turned on the Kingpin Edition card. So that was I think it allowed me to go to roughly like 1.3 gigahertz or 1,300 megahertz, so it's pretty cool. I'm not using black cable ties, because what I plan to do is go, when I get funds to buy cable ties, yes, money is that tight where I can't even buy cable ties, I plan to get black cable ties, or if I can find a friend to help me do some sleeving on my power supply, that would be great, so then I would have a cleaner looking build. But this is so far what I've done as far as cable management, and I'm sorry for the really low lighting and everything like that. So here it is. This is like the cable management I started. Pretty much everything else is a wreck in the back, but I'll show you what I did and what some ideas for cable management that I have in mind. Okay, I started here, and it was kind of a pain in the butt because the hole for the cables isn't necessarily wide enough for what I want to do. And what I mean is, I kind of want to have the top cable going over the second and third card cable. As you can tell, that's what I tried to do to the best of my ability when it came to cable management right here. I also finally hooked up the Corsair Link, which is supported by the 1200 or AX1200i that I have, excuse me. So I'm doing that right here. Pumps, having these pumps is a godsend, and it can be in hell at the same time. So let me go ahead and move and back up here. So as you notice, I don't have these cables, the blue and the yellow and the black, going this way. I actually finally routed them to my the back of the case finally, but I had a leakage problem, because here, how it is, this right here came loose a little bit when I popped it out, so I had to tighten that up, and then I had to go in and tighten the male-to-male rotary fitting as well. So just make sure you're tightening your fittings every so often. Check them probably after a month you install water cooling, and then you might see that your fittings might have came loose or something like that, so you can fix the problem before it comes into a bigger problem and you have leaking everywhere. Alright, now I'm gonna have to take the camera off its tripod, and this isn't going to be smooth at all. So, yeah. Okay, and the room's kind of a wreck because I was like watching South Park and movies and working on the computer, so excuse me the mess, you know. It's part of being a computer builder. You're gonna make a mess. There's no way if, ands, or buts about it. You're gonna make a huge mess when you're doing this. Okay, so here's the AX1200 power supply right here, and at the bottom is the 1600 watt EVGA. Now, if you look here, I'm not sure if I showed this already in a previous video, but I took all the fan wires and I have them running along internally here, so it's not in the way of anything, so it's nice and clean. And then also I took all the fan wires that were for the front radiator, which is located right here with these awesome PC Tech Overkill fan grills. I moved them all over here, and I kind of want to do the same thing for the radiator that's mounted right here, is have all of them together, and I kind of made a boo-boo, so I got to go in and solder. When I went to snip the zip tie, I snipped the wire, and these being so small, it's gonna be fun trying to solder this. So kind of disappointed in myself, but I might try to get a like some adapter that I have. I got tons of adapters where you stick it in the wire and you crimp it and you call it good, just for a temporary fix before I'm able to, you know, go in and solder that together. So I want to take all these wires and I have a zip tie. I don't know if you could see that, maybe it's right here, so right below my thumb is the zip tie area. It's black. So I want to have all these pulled together and zip tied along there. Okay, this is the terminal block right here that I have created. This right here is actually running the pumps that I have finally, so I routed all the wires and everything to the terminal block. Terminal blocks can save you a lot of time and money and essentially space, because what I did, all this right here is running off 12 volts. So the yellow generally is going to be your 12 volt positive, and then the black is going to be your negative right here. So that's what I did when I jumped it. So here's the little mini jumper, have a little Molex here, and you can connect it. You can have a terminal block this big, or let me see if I can find my other one that was in my Case Labs case, the TH10 that was featured in CPU Magazine, or you can have a terminal block that big and you can run anything you want off of this. Fans, LEDs, you can run a lot of stuff. So I still have this laying around in case I need it, but for this build I don't think I need it. One of the LEDs actually burnt on me. This is the only working LED now, so I need to get LEDs. It's going to cost probably $2 a pop for those. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt for this fan controller right here, is that you have to have, I know this kind of looks like a wreck, but I understand where everything goes. Pretty much you need to have 3 Molexes hooked up to this fan controller for optimal operation. So what I did was I essentially have a splitter, Molex splitter right here, and it's connecting to here and here as well, and then you have another one right here. But I might get rid of the splitter and just use this connection here, this one, and this one, and then just keep this wire right here for everything I need as far as like running the fan controller, LEDs, and pumps. So that'll be one less connection I gotta worry about. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Here are the holes that I was talking about for the fan wires that I routed them through. These are a 1/2 inch grommet that I have, and for these guys to take these off, I just used a flathead screwdriver, popped them off, and then ran the blue wire through it. So I might connect these to the motherboard, I might not. Got a lot of cable management to do. Everybody's like, oh my god, your back of your case is a wreck. Well, I know this. You build a case this big and you get 2 power supplies and see how you handle it. So I still have a lot of wiring to do. I'm trying to get like the bigger cables, like this 24 pin over the smaller one, so I can kind of do this. That's what I usually do. And then I might manipulate the case holes right here to hold some of the wires. I still have to tie down the SATA cables and everything like that. Then here's the link that I have to mount this. I'm probably going to use this via Velcro or something like that to hold this into place. Use Velcro for the terminal block I created, and then I'll probably use Velcro for this little guy right here. This is a great product, guys. This is add2psu, and if you look, it has a potentiometer on it, and basically what I can do, since I have the main power supply, which is the 1600, running pretty much everything as far as, you know, motherboard, CPU, and graphics cards and all that stuff, and I have the AX1200 running hard drives, pumps, LEDs, and any superfluous items that I feel like I want to add to my computer. The potentiometer right here, you can adjust it for like 5 seconds all the way 5 to 10 to I think 2 minutes or something like that if you want. So basically when I turn off my computer, the water cooling will still run and cool all the components to the you know, ambient temperature, I guess you want to call it, or just cool everything down after the computer's shut down, and then you'll be good to go. So I think it's pretty awesome for sure. Have this guy, so I'm using, I got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm using this one right here is the PO or P0. This is power supply for the CPU, that's one. And then this right here, I have an adapter for the 4-pin add-on for the CPU for more cleaner power. Let's see what else is going on. This is where my SSDs are located, right here. I did have some different designs, or not designs, but ideas. So let me go ahead and sit down here so you guys can see, like right here, like I was debating if I wanted to mount it, you know, it's like this, but sometimes with these little pegs you might be able to flip it so it's vertical instead of horizontal, so we'll save some more space and everything like that. And debating if I wanted to move it up here, but it wouldn't work because there's no more pegs here. So I don't know if that might be a suggestion to Case Labs, instead of them having them like this where it's vertical, have it where you can sometimes, if you don't have enough room, mount these horizontal, so have a couple extra pegs in this built-in within the board, which would be pretty cool, because this right here is pretty much soldered in onto the board itself, or I should say the case, which is pretty cool. So I got a lot of cable management to do. You can see, like, I kind of started working on here too. This is still, all these cables right here are strictly just for the graphics cards right here. I have to figure out how I want this cable to route. Debating if I want it to run straight down, or if I want it to go like over here and then kind of mount it like this. I would probably be the other way, like that, and then tuck it in underneath. So it would put this cable here. This right here is the 4-pin going to the motherboard, because you're going to have add-on power to the motherboard if you're running 2 or more graphics cards, and it's suggested to do that so you don't cause damage to your motherboard. So I'll pretty much have every connection on the motherboard hooked up, and I'm sorry about that. And what's pretty cool about this little guy right here, the Asus front base, is that you can turn this on, and then you can plug in your phone and have it charge, and also it reads it from here directly onto the computer, which is awesome. So you plug in your USB, identifies it as a mobile device, installs the appropriate software for it and or drivers, and you'll be able to open it up and drag photos and everything like that. So yeah, the only thing that I wish on here, and everybody's been saying, is that they want a longer cable that connects this right here to the motherboard for bigger cases. Also, there's an audio cable that connects here to your motherboard or your sound card, but it's not long enough, and I'm not even sure if the Creative ZXR that I have right here even supports it, so I'm perfectly fine running it like this. So there's my this is the daughter board. This kind of needs to be moved up some right here, and then this is the main one right here. I'm really sorry for the really bad lighting, unfortunately. Everything's running still pretty good, you know, it's running full helter skelter for sure, and everything like that. So let me see if I can try to do an example of the what the add2psu power adapter does. So I'm basically going to run the computer, and then I'm going to have it boot up, and then I'm going to shut it down. So just wait a second. It shouldn't take that long, just because it's it's running off an SSD. So you might be able to see the awesome picture that I got, and a lot of people are saying, holy crap, that scares the crap out of me when I boot up my computer. So hopefully I won't have any problems. So right there, how menacing does that look? That's just logging into the computer right there. So that looks pretty awesome. Then of course you got the top monitor, which is green, which is your standard Windows login, is where everything is green. So if I hit enter, for example, everything turns green. So I'm going to go ahead and power down. I'm not sure exactly what the potentiometer, how many seconds it's set to, but it's definitely, you can tell a difference, or notice that the other pump is still running. So okay, so you're gonna have that, you hear the click, see, everything's shut off, but the pumps are still running, and then it shuts off. So that is pretty awesome. It brings everything down and will help the hardware last a little longer, getting rid of all that heat. So a lot of stuff going on. Okay, let me go ahead and put this back on the tripod. Sorry about this. So yeah, guys, doing a lot of stuff with the computer, trying to make it look cleaner and better to my expectations. I still have the acrylic over at a friend's house. Like, he and I know it's either a hit or a miss. He's doing something and then I'm not, or I'm doing something and he isn't. But I still need to get that top of the case right here and put that awesome acrylic window custom that I plan to do. I still have my drill press over at his house, so I can get bolts and bolt up the acrylic window and everything like that. Or I might do the quick and dirty method using the double-sided tape that I have that can hold up to like 30 pounds or something like that. It's pretty strong stuff, and removing it is even harder for sure. So if you use this, you got to make sure you're doing it correctly. So I can probably show you that real quick. And this is the stuff right here. This stuff is awesome. This is also known Tape of the Gods by Bill Owen, and this is like I think this is it is 3M, and I think the model number is like 3010. But if you look, it's completely clear on this side, and then of course it looks red, but it's completely clear. It's fairly thin and everything, but this stuff is definitely strong. Definitely recommended for quick and dirty methods. That's what I use for the NZXT Vulcan build that was featured in CPU magazine. So, alright, I think that is it, guys. Appreciate your support and everything that's going on. Appreciate everybody, you know, saying, hey, how you feeling? Are you doing okay? How, you know, your blood sugar's under control. Being type 1 diabetic, yes, it kind of sucks, but I did receive a letter from the Veteran Affairs Hospital, which is where I go to get my health care, and they gave me the letter of, hey, congratulations, you got your diabetes under control. So that's always a good sign, you know, something positive. But anyways guys, I think that's it. Go ahead and wrap this video up. So you know the drill. As always, comment, subscribe, rate this video, click that like button, and you guys have a great day now.